In the last episode, my companions and I had just emerged victorious in Lyrian's government, our bond and determination stronger than ever. The enigmatic ally's cryptic message still lingered in my mind, urging me to embark on a perilous odyssey to unearth the fabled Aethereian archive. I felt an unsettling sense of purpose, as if the fate of Aethereia hung in the balance. I stood on the outskirts of the forsaken city, gazing out at the crumbling spires and rusting hulks of ancient machinery. My mission was to track down the elusive cartographer Elara, whose arcane maps promised to guide us to the archive. I turned to Dr. Orion, who stood beside me, her eyes shining with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. We need to find Elara, I thought, my mind racing with the possibilities. The city loomed before us, a labyrinth of shadows and forgotten dreams. We ventured into the darkness, our footsteps echoing off the walls. Dr. Orion's voice was barely above a whisper. "We should be careful. We don't know what kind of dangers lie within." I nodded, my hand instinctively reaching for the hilt of my sword. "Stay close," I replied. As we navigated the winding streets, the air grew thick with an eerie, pulsating energy. I could feel it seeping into my bones like a cold, creeping mist. "What's this energy, Doc?" I asked, my voice low. Dr. Orion's eyes scanned the surroundings. "I'm not sure, but I think it's connected to the Aethereian artifacts we've been finding." We turned a corner and a massive structure loomed before us, an ancient Aethereian temple, its entrance guarded by two imposing statues. Elara's map suggests that the cartographer is hiding within, Dr. Orion said, her voice filled with a mix of awe and fear. I steeled myself, feeling the weight of our quest settling onto my shoulders. "Let's do this." As we approached the temple, the pulsating energy surged, and I felt a strange, unsettling presence watching us from the shadows. I knew then that we were not alone in this forsaken city. The statues seemed to loom over us, their stone eyes cold and unyielding. I could feel the weight of history bearing down on me. Dr. Orion's voice was barely audible. "Alex, I think we're being watched." I nodded, my senses on high alert. "Let's move." We stepped forward and the temple's massive doors creaked open, revealing a darkness that seemed to swallow all light. I drew my sword, its familiar weight a comfort in the face of the unknown. Elara's map indicated a hidden chamber deep within the temple, I said, my voice steady. Dr. Orion nodded, her eyes shining with determination. "Let's find her." As we ventured deeper into the temple, the air grew colder, the shadows deepening into dark, living things that seemed to writhe and twist around us. I could feel the presence closing in, its malevolent energy suffusing the air. "We need to keep moving," I urged, my heart pounding in my chest. The temple seemed to shift and twist around us, its corridors leading us deeper into the heart of the structure. I could feel the weight of the archive bearing down on me, drawing me closer to my goal. And then, I saw a glimmer of light in the distance. I quickened my pace, my sword at the ready. "Dr. Orion, I think we're close." The light grew brighter, illuminating a figure standing before a massive, ancient artifact. It was Elara, her eyes shining with a mixture of fear and determination. "Elara," I called out, my voice echoing off the walls. She turned, her eyes locking onto mine. "Alex, I've been waiting." I approached her cautiously, my sword still at the ready. "What's going on, Elara? What's happening?" Elara's eyes seemed to cloud over, her voice barely above a whisper. "The Archon regime is closing in. They'll stop at nothing to claim the archive." I felt a surge of adrenaline, my heart racing with the implications. "We need to get out of here now." But as we turned to leave, the temple's walls began to shake, the sound of footsteps echoing through the corridors. The Archon regime had found us. It was then that I realized our journey was far from over. The stakes had just escalated, and I knew that our next move would determine the course of Aethereian history. The darkness closed in, and I steeled myself for what lay ahead, my determination burning brighter than ever. I knew that I would do everything in my power to protect my companions and uncover the secrets of the Aethereian archive. The fate of Aethereia hung in the balance, and I was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. With a newfound sense of purpose, I led my companions forward into the unknown. The journey ahead would be fraught with danger, but I was ready. For Aethereia, for my friends, for the future previously. Alex and Dr. Orion ventured into the Forsaken City, tracking down the elusive cartographer Elara, who holds the key to unlocking the Aethereian archive. As they navigated the ancient Aethereian temple, they discovered Elara but were ambushed by the Archon regime, escalating the stakes and setting the stage for a heart-stopping showdown. The air thickened as the temple's walls shook, the sound of footsteps growing louder. I drew my sword, its familiar weight a comfort in the face of the unknown. Dr. Orion stood beside me, her eyes locked on the corridors ahead. Elara, her face pale, stood frozen, her eyes darting between us and the approaching threat. We knew we had to move fast. Dr. Orion, can you scan for any weaknesses in the temple's structure? I asked, my mind racing with strategies. I'm on it, she replied, her voice steady, her fingers flying across a holographic interface projected from her wrist-mounted device. I turned to Elara. What's the layout of the temple? Are there any hidden passages or escape routes? Elara's gaze snapped into focus, her eyes locking onto mine. There's a hidden passage, hidden behind a mural in the eastern wing. We can reach it if we move quickly. I nodded, my mind racing with the possibilities. Let's do it. Dr. Orion, can you? Am working on it, Alex, she interrupted, her eyes flashing between the holographic display and the corridors ahead. The sound of footsteps grew louder, the temple's walls shaking beneath our feet. I had to act fast. All right, here's the plan, I said, my voice a low, urgent whisper. Dr. Orion, can you disable the temple's internal security systems? She nodded, her eyes locked on the holographic display. Elara, can you lead us to the hidden passage? I asked. Elara nodded, her face set with determination. An ill-take point covering our rear, I finished. Without another word, we sprang into action. Dr. Orion worked her magic, hacking into the temple's internal grid, disabling alarms and cameras. Elara led the way, her footsteps quick and light, navigating us through the winding corridors. I brought up the rear, my sword at the ready, my senses on high alert. We moved quickly, our footsteps echoing off the walls. The sound of the Archon regime's footsteps grew louder, closer, but we pushed on, driven by the knowledge that the secrets of the Aethereian archive lay just beyond our grasp. As we burst through the hidden passage, I felt a rush of adrenaline. We had made it out of the temple, but we knew the Archon regime would not stop until they claimed the archive. The stakes had escalated, and I knew that our next move would determine the course of Aethereian history. I led my companions forward into the unknown, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. For Aethereia, for my friends, for the future previously, Alex, Dr. Orion and Elara escaped the Archon regime's ambush in the ancient Aethereian temple was short-lived. As they fled into the unknown, determined to uncover the secrets of the Aethereian archive. As we emerged from the hidden passage, the cool air of the Forsaken City enveloped us, a welcome respite from the suffocating tension of the temple. I drew a deep breath, the weight of our mission settling heavier on my shoulders. Dr. Orion's eyes met mine, a spark of determination kindling within them. Elara, her face still pale, nodded resolutely, her gaze drifting toward the city's skyline. Where do we go from here? I asked, my eyes scanning the rooftops, searching for any sign of pursuit. Dr. Orion's eyes narrowed, her fingers flying across her wrist-mounted device. I've hacked into the city's surveillance grid. We have a 30-minute window before they pinpoint our location. I nodded, my mind racing. Elara, can you guide us to a safe haven, somewhere we can regroup and plan our next move? Elara's gaze snapped into focus, her eyes locking onto mine. I know a place, an old, abandoned clock tower on the city's outskirts. It's not ideal, but it's better than staying out in the open. Without another word, we set off, our footsteps echoing off the Forsaken City's buildings. The silence was oppressive, weighing heavier with each passing moment. The clock tower loomed before us, its decrepit facade a testament to the city's neglect. As we climbed the winding staircase, the clock's mechanical heartbeat pulsed through the air, thickening with anticipation. The door creaked open, revealing a dimly lit chamber, the walls adorned with dusty clockwork mechanisms. Elara led us to a small, makeshift workshop, cluttered with tools and half-finished projects. "This is where I work on my maps," Elara explained, a hint of pride in her voice. "I've been tracking the Aethereian artifact's energy signatures. I think I can pinpoint the archive's location, but I need more time, more data." I nodded, my mind racing with the implications. "We'll get you the resources you need. Dr. Orion, can you hack into the city's database, gather more information on the archive's location?" Dr. Orion's eyes lit up, her fingers flying across her wrist-mounted device. "I'm on it, Alex." As we worked in silence, the clock tower's mechanical heartbeat pulsed through the air, a reminder that time was against us. But with each passing moment, our determination grew, our bond stronger than ever. We knew that the secrets of the Aethereian archive lay within our grasp, and we were one step closer to unlocking them. But as we delved deeper into the unknown, the shadows outside the clock tower grew darker, the air thickening with an ominous presence. I sensed it, a presence that had been watching us from the shadows, waiting for its moment to strike. The stakes had escalated, and I knew that our next move would determine the course of Aethereian history. And I was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, for my friends, for the future, and for the hope of a brighter tomorrow. Previously, Alex, Dr. Orion, and Elara escaped the Archon regime's ambush in the ancient Aethereian temple, fleeing into the unknown to uncover the secrets of the Aethereian archive. As they regrouped in the abandoned clock tower, they discovered they were being watched by an ominous presence lurking in the shadows, waiting to strike. The clock tower's mechanical heartbeat pulsed through the air, synchronizing with the thud of my racing heart. I glanced at Dr. Orion and Elara, their faces illuminated by the faint glow of her maps and devices. We knew the stakes had escalated, and our next move would determine the course of Aethereian history. I felt the weight of responsibility settling heavier on my shoulders. Suddenly, the clock's mechanical rhythm faltered, the room plunged into darkness. The air was heavy with an electric silence, the shadows cast on the walls like grasping fingers. I strained my ears, listening for any sound, any hint of movement. Dr. Orion and Elara exchanged a tense glance, their breathing synchronized with mine. And then, out of the darkness, a figure emerged. Tall, imposing, with eyes that burned like embers from a forgotten galaxy. The air around him rippled, distorting the shadows to his bidding. "Who are you?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. The figure inclined his head, a hint of a smile on his lips. "I am Archaea, the keeper of the Aethereian archive's secrets." My heart skipped a beat. We had finally found someone who could lead us to the archive, but at what cost? Previously, Alex, Dr. Orion, and Elara escaped the Archon regime's ambush in an ancient Aethereian temple, only to be confronted by an enigmatic figure, Archaea, the keeper of the Aethereian archive's secrets. As Archaea's piercing gaze bore into me, I felt the weight of the archive's secrets pressing down upon us. Dr. Orion's eyes were locked onto Archaea, calculating the risks and rewards, while Elara's fingers danced across her devices, searching for any hidden patterns or weaknesses. "So, you're the one who's been watching us," I stated, my tone steady, trying to hide the tremors beneath. Archaea's smile grew, the creases around his eyes deepening. "I've been waiting for you, Alex. You have the potential to unlock the archive's true power." I took a cautious step forward, my senses on high alert. "What do you mean?" Archaea's gaze flickered to Dr. Orion and Elara, then back to me. "The archive holds more than just ancient knowledge. It holds the key to Aethereia's redemption. But to access it, you must first prove your worth." Elara's fingers stilled, her eyes locked onto Archaea. "What kind of test?" Archaea's smile grew, his eyes glinting with an otherworldly intensity. "You must enter the dream realm, a realm where the fabric of reality is woven and unwoven. There, Yowl faced the echoes of Aethereia's darkest past. If you succeed, the secrets of the archive will be yours to claim. Dr. Orion's voice was low, measured. And if we fail, Archaea's smile never wavered. The consequences will be severe. The room fell silent, the only sound the mechanical heartbeat of the clock tower, pulsing like a countdown to our fate. Previously, Alex, Dr. Orion, and Elara escaped the Archon regime's ambush in an ancient Aethereian temple, only to be confronted by Archaea, the keeper of the Aethereian archive secrets, who presented them with a daunting challenge. Enter the dream realm to face the echoes of Aethereia's darkest past and claim the secrets of the archive. As I stood frozen, the weight of Archaea's words crushed me. The dream realm, facing the echoes of Aethereia's darkest past. I felt like I was staring into the abyss, but I couldn't let fear take hold. I had to push forward no matter the cost. With a deep breath, I turned to my companions. We do this. We face whatever is in the dream realm. Together. Dr. Orion's eyes locked onto mine, a hint of determination etched on his face. Elara's fingers danced across her devices, her eyes flashing with a mix of fear and excitement. Archaea's smile grew, his eyes glinting with an otherworldly intensity. Very well, Alex. Then let us begin. With those words, the temple room began to distort, the air rippling like the surface of a pond. The clock tower's heartbeat grew louder, pulsing in time with my own racing heart. The world around us blurred, replaced by a swirling vortex of colors pulling us in. I felt Elara's hand grasp mine, her fingers cold and trembling. Dr. Orion's eyes locked onto mine, a fierce determination burning in them. Together we stepped forward into the swirling vortex of the dream realm. As we vanished into the colors, I felt the weight of Archaea's words echoing in my mind. The consequences of failure would be severe, but I pushed the thought aside, focusing on the task at hand. We had to succeed. We had to claim the secrets of the archive and redeem Aethereia. The dream realm surrounded us, a realm where reality was woven and unwoven. We had to navigate its treacherous landscape, face the echoes of the darkest past, and emerge victorious. The fate of Aethereia hung in the balance. As we journeyed deeper into the dream realm, the echoes of Aethereia's darkest past began to manifest around us. Dark creatures lurched from the shadows, twisted and grotesque. The air was heavy with the stench of forgotten memories, and the ground trembled with the weight of ancient sorrows. Dr. Orion's eyes scanned the horizon, his voice low and urgent. We need to keep moving. We can't let the echoes overwhelm us. Elara's fingers danced across her devices, her eyes flashing with a mix of fear and determination. Trying to track the echoes, but Thayer shifting too fast. I gripped my companion's hands, my voice firm. We'll face them together. We'll face whatever the dream realm throws at us. With a deep breath, we pushed forward into the heart of the dream realm. The echoes of Aethereia's darkest past closed in around us, their twisted forms looming like specters of death. But we refused to yield. We pushed forward, our bond and determination forged in adversity. We would emerge victorious, no matter the cost. The fate of Aethereia depended on it. Previously, Alex, Dr. Orion, and Elara ventured into the dream realm, facing the echoes of Aethereia's darkest past to claim the secrets of the Aethereian archive. They bravely pushed forward hand in hand as the twisted forms of the echoes loomed before them. As we journeyed deeper into the dream realm, the echoes began to take on a life of their own. Twisted, ethereal creatures darted around us, their whispers like ice shards in my mind. Dr. Orion's eyes scanned the horizon, his voice low and urgent as he warned of an impending storm. Elara's fingers danced across her devices, her eyes flashing with a mix of fear and determination as she struggled to track the echoes. Suddenly, the ground trembled beneath our feet. A behemoth of an echo emerged from the shadows, its massive form blotting out the swirling colors of the dream realm. Its twisted face contorted in a scream of anguish, its eyes blazing with an ancient fury. Dr. Orion's voice was low and urgent. We need to get out of here. Now. I gripped my companion's hands, my voice firm. We can't let it defeat us. We stood frozen, the behemoth's roar washing over us like a tidal wave. As if sensing our fear, the behemoth lunged forward, its eyes burning with an otherworldly intensity. I raised my hands, ready to face the beast head-on. But it was Dr. Orion who reacted first. With a swift movement, he deployed a device that sent a burst of energy rippling through the air, repelling the behemoth. The beast stumbled back, giving us a narrow window of opportunity. Now, Dr. Orion urged, "We have to move." We didn't hesitate. With the behemoth momentarily stunned, we made a break for the narrow opening that Dr. Orion had created. Elara's fingers danced across her devices, her eyes flashing with determination as she guided us through the treacherous landscape. As we emerged on the other side, we found ourselves in a labyrinthine city, lit by flickering candles that cast eerie shadows on the walls. The air was thick with the scent of old parchment and forgotten knowledge. "I think we're close," Elara whispered, her eyes scanning the surrounding architecture. Dr. Orion's eyes were already locked onto a distant landmark, a towering structure that pierced the sky like a shard of glass. "The Tower of Whispers," he breathed, "the heart of the Aethereian archive." But as we approached the tower, I felt a creeping sense of unease. Something was off. The echoes of Aethereia's darkest past were growing louder, their whispers urging us closer to the tower. "What's going on?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. Dr. Orion's eyes were locked onto the tower, his voice low and urgent. "I think we're being led into a trap." As if on cue, the air around us began to distort, the shadows deepening into twisting forms that coalesced into a figure with eyes that burned with an otherworldly intensity. "Welcome, Alex," it said, its voice like a sigh of the wind. "I have been waiting for you. You have something that belongs to me, something that will unlock the secrets of the Aethereian archive forever." I felt a chill run down my spine as the figure stepped closer, its presence suffocating. I knew that we had to get out of there fast. But as I turned to my companions, I saw that they were frozen, their eyes locked onto the figure. "Elara," Dr. Orion whispered, his voice barely audible. "I think we've made a terrible mistake previously." Alex, Dr. Orion, and Elara navigated the treacherous dream realm, confronting the echoes of Aethereia's darkest past. As they neared the Tower of Whispers, the heart of the Aethereian archive, they were ambushed by a mysterious figure with otherworldly intensity who sought to claim the secrets of the archive. "You have something that belongs to me," the figure hissed, its eyes blazing with an ancient power. As I stood frozen, my companions paralyzed with fear, I knew I had to act. With a surge of adrenaline, I shoved Lyra and Dr. Orion behind me, shielding them from the figure's mesmerizing gaze. The figure's eyes narrowed, its presence compressing the air around us. I felt the weight of its power, a crushing pressure that threatened to splinter my resolve. But I stood firm, my heart pounding with determination. "I won't let you take it," I growled, my voice steady. "Whatever secrets the archive holds, they belong to Aethereia, not you." A cold smile crept across its face and it took a step closer. "You're brave, Alex," it whispered, "but foolish. You don't know what you're dealing with." With a swift motion, it summoned a swarm of twisted, ethereal creatures that descended upon us. Dr. Orion and Elara snapped back to reality, their eyes flashing with fear as they realized our predicament. "Now," I yelled, grabbing my companion's hands, "we have to move." We sprinted through the labyrinthine city, the creatures hot on our heels. The air was thick with the scent of old parchment and forgotten knowledge, and I could feel the weight of the archive's secrets hovering just out of reach. As we burst through the Tower of Whispers entrance, I knew we'd entered the lion's den. The room was a maze of twisting bookshelves, ancient artifacts, and cryptic devices that hummed with an otherworldly energy. Dr. Orion's eyes scanned the room frantically. "We need to find the archive's central core. It's the only way to." But before he could finish, the creatures poured into the room, their eyes blazing with an ancient fury. We were trapped, surrounded by the very secrets we sought to claim. In that moment, I knew we had to think fast or risk losing everything we'd fought for. I locked eyes with my companions, and in that instant I knew we'd face whatever lay ahead together. "Well, figure it out," I said, my voice firm. "We always do." Dr. Orion's eyes sparked with determination. Elara's fingers danced across her devices, her eyes flashing with a mix of fear and determination. Together, we prepared to fight for the secrets of the Aethereian archive, and our very lives previously. Alex, Dr. Orion, and Elara navigated the treacherous dream realm, confronting the echoes of Aethereia's darkest past. We were ambushed by a mysterious figure with otherworldly intensity who sought to claim the secrets of the archive. As we burst through the Tower of Whispers entrance, we found ourselves trapped, surrounded by the very secrets we sought to claim. The air was thick with the scent of old parchment and forgotten knowledge, and I could feel the weight of the archive's secrets hovering just out of reach. "Well, figure it out," I said, my voice firm. "We always do." Dr. Orion's eyes sparked with determination as he surveyed the room. Elara's fingers danced across her devices, her eyes flashing with a mix of fear and determination. Together, we prepared to fight for the secrets of the Aethereian archive and our very lives. With a swift motion, I slammed my hand against the nearest bookshelf, and the entire room came alive. The bookshelves shifted and rotated, revealing hidden passages and secret doors. The creatures, momentarily stunned, hesitated, giving us a narrow window of opportunity. "Elara, can you hack into the security systems?" I asked, my eyes locked on the maze of twisting bookshelves. "I'm trying, Alex, but it's like nothing I've seen before," she replied, her voice laced with frustration. Dr. Orion stepped forward, his eyes aglow with an understanding. "I think I know what's going on," he said, his voice filled with excitement. "The security system is tied to the archive's central core. If we can find the core, we can." "SHH," I whispered, my ears perked up. "Do you hear that?" A low hum, like the gentle thrumming of a harp string, resonated through the room. It was faint, but unmistakable, the sound of the archive's central core. Without hesitation, I charged forward, my companions hot on my heels. We navigated the twisting bookshelves, avoiding deadly traps and ancient guardians that protected the archive's secrets. The hum grew louder, and I could feel the room shifting, the air compressing with anticipation. Suddenly, the walls parted, revealing a glowing crystal at the room's center. The hum emanated from the crystal, pulsating with an otherworldly energy. Dr. Orion's eyes went wide as he approached the crystal. "This is it," he whispered. "The heart of the Aethereian archive." As we gazed upon the crystal, the room began to shudder, and the creatures returned, their eyes blazing with fury. We knew we had to act fast to unlock the secrets of the archive before us. With the crystal at our fingertips, we were one step away from unlocking the secrets of Aethereia's forgotten past. But as we reached out to claim it, the mysterious figure reappeared, its eyes blazing with an ancient power. "You may have reached the heart of the archive," it hissed, "but you'll never leave this place alive." In that moment, the room was plunged into darkness, and I felt the weight of the archive's secrets slipping through my fingers previously. Alex, Dr. Orion, and Elara finally reached the heart of the Aethereian archive, only to be confronted by a mysterious figure with ancient power, who threatened to kill them and claim the secrets for themselves. As the room plunged into darkness, I felt the weight of the archive's secrets slipping through my fingers. The air was heavy with anticipation, and I could sense the archive's power coursing through me. I reached out blindly, trying to connect with the energy. Suddenly, the darkness was illuminated by a blinding flash of light, and the air was filled with the whispers of the Aethereian ancients. I felt myself being lifted off the ground, suspended in midair as the whispers grew louder, speaking a language I couldn't understand. I felt Dr. Orion's and Elara's grasping for me, but they were torn away, leaving me alone in the void. The whispers grew louder, pounding in my ears, and I felt my mind being stretched to its limits. I was being tested, pushed to the edge of sanity, but I refused to give in, drawing on every ounce of courage and determination I possessed. Slowly, the whispers began to fade, and I was gently lowered back to the ground. As my vision cleared, I saw Dr. Orion and Elara, shaken but unharmed, staring back at me. The room was quiet, the mysterious figure nowhere to be seen. But something was different. I could feel it in my bones. The archive's power was now within me, coursing through my veins like liquid fire. I raised my hand, and to my wonder, a burst of energy shot out, illuminating the dark room. "What's happening to me?" I asked, my voice trembling with awe. Dr. Orion's eyes sparkled with excitement. "You've connected with the archive's power. You're becoming the key to unlocking Aethereia's forgotten past." Elara's gaze was filled with a mix of wonder and trepidation. "What does it mean?" I took a deep breath, feeling the power surging through me. "It means I can lead us out of this place and back to the surface. And with this power, we'll uncover the secrets of the Aethereian archive, no matter what dangers lie ahead." With the archive's power coursing through me, I knew that nothing could stop us now. We would uncover the secrets of Aethereia's forgotten past and bring hope to a world that had been shrouded in darkness previously. Alex, Dr. Orion, and Elara reached the heart of the Aethereian archive, where they were confronted by a mysterious figure who threatened to kill them and claim the secrets for themselves. In the ensuing chaos, Alex connected with the archive's power, and it now courses through him like liquid fire. As we stood there, bathed in the faintly glowing energy, I felt an unsettling tremor beneath my feet. The ground began to shudder, and the air was pierced by a low, ominous hum. Dr. Orion's eyes darted towards the entrance, his face pale with concern. "What's happening?" I asked, my voice steady despite the growing sense of unease. "I think we've triggered a fail-safe mechanism," Dr. Orion replied, his words tumbling out in a rush. "The archive's power is destabilizing the structure itself. We need to leave now." Without hesitation, we turned to make our way back through the winding tunnels, the hum growing louder and the tremors intensifying with every step. Elara led the way, her map etched with the arcane symbols guiding us through the labyrinthine passages. As we moved, the air grew thick with the scent of ozone, and electrical discharges crackled through the air. We burst out of the entrance, gasping in the cool, crisp breeze of the surface world. The landscape before us was transformed, the once barren expanse now teemed with strange, glowing flora, their ethereal beauty belied by the sense of foreboding they inspired. "We need to get back to Lyra and Aaron," Dr. Orion urged, his eyes scanning the horizon. "We have to prepare for the worst. The fail-safe mechanism will have alerted the Archon regime. They'll be on our tail soon." As we hastened towards the distant outline of Eldrador, I felt the archive's power surging through me, urging me forward. I knew that we stood at the threshold of a new chapter in our journey, one fraught with danger, but also filled with promise. The secrets of Aethereia's forgotten past beckoned, waiting to be unearthed. Our small band of heroes moved swiftly, driven by a sense of purpose that only grew stronger with every step. We were no longer just a ragtag group of rebels, we were the vanguard of a revolution, fueled by the power of the Aethereian archive. Previously, Alex and his companions reached the heart of the Aethereian archive, only to trigger a fail-safe mechanism that threatened to destroy the structure and alert the Archon regime. Now, as they flee the unstable archive, the landscape transforms and the secrets of Aethereia's forgotten past loom closer. We pushed towards Eldrador, our footsteps echoing in the stillness. Lyra and Aaron awaited us, their faces set with determination. I could feel the archive's power coursing through me, guiding me towards the next step. As we approached, Lyra stepped forward, her eyes scanning our faces. "What happened?" she asked, her voice low and urgent. "We triggered a fail-safe mechanism," Dr. Orion explained, his words spilling out in a rush. "The archive's power is destabilizing the structure. We need to prepare for the worst." Aaron's eyes narrowed. "The Archon regime will be on our tail soon. We need to get out of here now." I nodded, my mind racing. "We need to gather our allies, get them to safety. We can't let the regime capture anyone else." Lyra nodded, her face set with determination. "I'll get the others. Ready the ships. We'll meet you at the old ruins of Aethereia. I turned to Dr. Orion. We need to find a way to stabilize the archive's power. Can you work on that? Dr. Orion's eyes darted towards the horizon. I'll need to study the artifacts we found, see if I can find a way to harness the power. But we need to move now. As we dispersed, I felt the archive's power surging through me, urging me forward. I knew that we stood at the threshold of a new chapter in our journey, one fraught with danger, but also filled with promise. We gathered our allies, preparing for the worst. The Archon regime was closing in. Their pursuit was relentless. We knew that we couldn't outrun them forever. We needed a plan to take them down, to claim the secrets of the Aethereian archive for ourselves. As we converged on the old ruins of Aethereia, I saw the extent of our rebellion. There were warriors, smugglers, scientists, and rebels from all corners of Aethereia. We had become a force to be reckoned with. I stood before them, my voice echoing through the cavernous space. We stand here today as the vanguard of a revolution. We will not be intimidated, we will not be silenced. We will fight for a better tomorrow, for a world where hope and courage have overcome the darkness of our past. The crowd erupted in cheers, their determination and passion fueling me. I knew that we would emerge victorious, that we would claim the secrets of the Aethereian archive and pave the way for a brighter future. As we set out to face the Archon regime, the true extent of the archive's power and the secrets it held were revealed. The regime's stronghold was formidable, but we had the power of the archive on our side. The final battle was intense, the outcome hanging in the balance. But I knew that we would emerge victorious, that we would claim the secrets of the Aethereian archive and pave the way for a brighter future. As the regime's stronghold crumbled, I felt the archive's power surging through me, urging me forward. I knew that we had changed the course of Aethereian history forever, filling it with possibility and hope. Epilogue. As I stood on the surface of Aethereia, bathed in the warm light of a new dawn, I knew that our journey was far from over. There were new horizons to explore, new secrets to uncover. But for now, I savored the moment, basking in the glow of our triumph. The darkness of our past was slowly receding, and a new era of peace, discovery, and unity was unfolding. I smiled, knowing that Alex's transformation from a determined but uncertain leader to a confident champion of Aethereia's future had inspired a new generation of Aethereians to strive for a better tomorrow.